So, in today's video, we'll be taking a look back at that Mr. Woodchuck puppet from the popular hit TV show, Full House. We'll be taking a brief look back at the character's appearance and history on the show, but most importantly, finding out where that puppet is today. What are we waiting for? Let's talk about it. Full House is/was a popular American sitcom that was created by Jeff Franklin for ABC. It originally aired from September 22nd, 1987 to May 23rd, 1995, with a total of 8 episodes consisting of 192 episodes. If you were like me growing up, you probably remember seeing reruns of the show re-air on Nick at Night. But if you've never seen the show, here's pretty much the plot of Full House. After the passing of his wife Pam, sports anchor Danny Tanner, played by Bob Saget, recruits his brother-in-law Jesse, played by John Stamos, a rock musician, and his childhood best friend Joey, played by Dave Coulier, who's also a stand-up comedian, to help raise his 3 young daughters in San Francisco, DJ, Stephanie, and Michelle. You're probably thinking, okay, cool, but where does Mr. Woodchuck come from? Mr. Woodchuck was a wisecracking Woodchuck Muppet-style hand puppet and sidekick character to Ranger Joe, first appearing in the 1991 episode that was featured on Full House, called The Legend of Ranger Joe. The character Joey in the series has a streak of good luck in the beginning of this episode. His childhood idol, Ranger Roy, the host of a children's program, is retiring and Joey is confident to audition. However, his luck goes from good to bad after innocently angering Roy by hugging him. And due to Roy's acute physical paranoia, he ends up kicking Joey out. But when the show becomes a disaster, Joey uses his antics to save the day. Roy is so impressed that he changes his mind and gives Joey the job again. And the title of the show is now The Ranger Joe Show. For the show, Ranger Joe, played by Joey, was also given a sidekick named Mr. Woodchuck. In the kids show within the actual show, Mr. Woodchuck has an obsession with anything made out of. Throughout the rest of the series, Uncle Joey could be seen carrying Mr. Woodchuck around throughout other different episodes of Full House. He and Mr. Woodchuck would tell stories to Michelle and to Jesse's 2 twin boys. Joey would also use the puppet within different episodes to annoy Danny and Uncle Jesse with Mr. Woodchuck's high-pitched voice. Mr. Woodchuck was last seen in the original Full House episode, Michelle Rides Again. Full House was followed by a sequel rebooted series called Fuller House, which aired on Netflix in the beginning of 2016, and in the 5th and final season of Fuller House was released in 2 parts in 2019 and 2020. Mr. Woodchuck also made a surprise appearance on the rebooted series Fuller House. For me personally, I think the show was good for nostalgia and a good way to update everybody on what the characters have been up to after all these years, but nothing compares to the original Full House series. According to Fuller House Wiki, the Mr. Woodchuck puppet used in Fuller House was a gift given to Dave Coulier by Jimmy Fallon. And I can actually back this up because a fan actually tweeted to Dave and said, "Hey, I gotta know, do you still have a Mr. Woodchuck after all these years?" Dave ended up responding saying, "Yes, I do. I have the original Mr. Woodchuck from Full House, and I have an updated version that Jimmy Fallon gave me." So, now we're on to that main question about where are those puppets today? The original Mr. Woodchuck puppet from the original TV show Full House was eaten by Dave Coulier's dog, Ranger. Unfortunately, the puppet had its front part of its face mauled off. What? Dave, who of course played Uncle Joey on the show, shared this tragic story and included a video of the puppet's damaged face in a 2012 Funny or Die sketch comedy short, saying that the family dog, Comet, who's pretty much the family dog in the show, and that he pretty much had gotten to Mr. Woodchuck and ripped him to shreds. This is going to be kind of weird, but also what I find really cool about this is that although the puppet was destroyed, Dave's like, I'm still keeping the original because it was apparently the only one original puppet that they ever had or made. So he's like, I'm not getting rid of this thing. Destroyed it all, I'm keeping it. Also, I'm pretty sure if he really wanted to, he could reach out to a puppet builder and they could probably reconstruct or rebuild the face. As of recently, Dave was featured as a special guest on the Magical Rewind podcast that's hosted by Will Friedle, who you might better know from the Disney sitcom Boy Meets World, or Ron from Kim Possible. The podcast is also hosted by Sabrina Bryan, who you may better know from the Cheetah Girls franchise. Dave recently explained on their podcast the whole Mr. Woodchuck story, and he even goes into more detail.
Is that Mr. Woodchuck behind you right there?
It is. I'm dying. I've been looking at it the whole time.
This is the original Mr. Woodchuck that I had on Full House. That's a very expensive puppet. It was like $25,000. There he is.
Oh, God.
So what happened was I had a yellow lab named Ranger. Every day Ranger would go and just look down the hallway and growl at Mr. Woodchuck. So one day I walked in and I see Mr. Woodchuck laying on the living room floor, face down, and I see foam everywhere. And I went, oh no.
Oh no.
Turned him over, and that was what I saw. I see Ranger, and he's laying across the living room, and he's got pieces of foam all around his face on the floor, and he's just looking at me like, I got him, Dad.
Hey yo, let me know in the comments below. Let me know your favorite sitcom of all time. It could be from the past, the present, and depending on when you're watching this, it can even be from the future. Hey, thanks so much for watching this awesome puppet related video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please do me a favor and go check out the next one right here on the screen. Kermit and I think you will enjoy it, and we'll see you over there. Until next time, take care and have an awesome day.